Dude, I ain't got no AC. It's so hot. Riley, it's probably snowing there. Max, I know it's definitely snowing there.
It's not anymore, though. It's not anymore.
Nah, it's
Summer's
perfect
coming.
weather outside for me.
Dude, it's like 80 degrees in here right now. My fat ass is sweating.
It's like a cool 72.
Yeah, well, hopefully the electricity will come on because we got some hot topics to talk about today. I think we had a great race this past weekend. I'll introduce everybody in a second, but before we go on any further, we need to drop that intro.
Nitro is the glory, but Ebuggy pays the bills. Welcome to the No Name RC podcast. Get ready for some serious bench racing. But be warned, we speak our minds, express our thoughts, and sometimes things can get a little rowdy.
Hate, and he just was influenced by the hate coming from the left, the hate coming from the right.
And let's get back to more club racing and less of this money-grabbing book racing.
It's hard not to be arrogant when you're always right.
See what I mean? That's exactly why people call you arrogant, Max.
You may not agree with everything we say, but it's definitely worth a listen.
And our pick, can you stop whatever you're doing?
Join your host, Lefty the Great, with co-hosts and guests as they get together to chat RC.
Hey, after that race that I watched this morning, I have to talk about it.
Here we go. $100 right here, $100 throw. Oh no! I like this.
Yes, indeed. Nitro's the glory, but Ebuggy pays the bills. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 183 of the No Name RC podcast. I'm your host, Keenan White, aka Lefty the Great. Lefty the Great. How did I mess that up? And then over to my upper left is Riley Filbert, who's going to dabble his toe into a little bit of the 8-skill world this weekend. What's up, Riley? How are you?
Doing good. Yeah, watched PNB this weekend.
He did. He watched it all. He did. He was letting us know when the mains are up and all that stuff. Good stuff, Riley.
Yeah.
And of course, we have probably one of the most liked but also disliked people in RC right now. And he loves it. Look at this smile on his face. The arrogant Max. The arrogant one. What's up, arrogant Max? How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been a long day again, but yeah, I'm doing good. Watch some of the PNB. It's all right.
Jesus, just that's all you got for us right now. I know you got more. All right. Before we get in, let me do my thank you. Thank you to all of the NNRC Squad around the world. We can't do it without you guys. Thank you for sharing, liking, supporting us, downloading, keep on listening, keep sharing, help us get out there in that algorithm, leaving reviews, all that good stuff. Shout out to the patrons of the podcast. We can't do it without you, Max. We're gonna do a patron only podcast this week, Easter podcast, I think, for them. So thank you to all of those guys. If you wish to be a patron, the link is in the written description of this podcast, and every little bit helps. We greatly appreciate that. Thank you to all the companies that support the NNRC. They are Invisible Speed. Joseph started a course run through her yesterday, I believe. So if you guys want to get in on the course right now, it's a good time to get in because he's got like Runner Falk and Battier and all them guys doing run-throughs with it. So check that out. Shout out to TZO Tires, Nick and them guys. Hopefully I'll see them at Silver State High Tech RC for all their support. TNR Fuels, Rock. I need to get one of their new shirts as well. Beach RC. Shout out to Brent Lucas and those guys. Techno RC. Ooh, Techno didn't have the best weekend this weekend. They did an Ebuggy. Tyler Jones got second, but rough weekend for Techno in the other classes. Lugs Racing Tires. Shout out to Bryce and Nibs. Mayako. Shout out to all the Mayako crew, the JQSM crew. G-Spec RC Tuning for all your RC cabling needs. Papa Willie's Traction Tonic for all your traction resolving problems right there. Racecraft USA. Get pitted with them. Clinic RC. Shout out to Tony and his wife and the awesome products that they bring. JTP RC, I don't think Tebow will be too happy with his performance this weekend. We're going to talk about that and a little bit more. And, of course, RCGP House of RC. RCGP just opened up for the Italian Ron. Max, are you going to that race?
Not sure yet. I don't know.
It's in July, right? I don't know if I'm going. Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see. At House of RC, if you haven't gone to House of RC and filled out your profile. Riley, you been to House of RC and filled out your profile?
No.
Oh no! So
we're gonna have to get
after
you
this
on that.
podcast,
You'll
you
like
have
that.
some signing up to do.
Yeah, I think you will like that. I think you'll like it. And shout out to my boy RC Kevin, who's good to Silver State. I'll finally get to meet him. And shout out to Tebow, Runner Falk. Runner Falk's gonna be racing soon, and all that good stuff. And I just have to say 2 quick shout outs. Shout out to my boy Tony Scarcella and Alpha RC Raceway. They I kind of gave them, I don't sponsor many people, but Tony has been a really good friend of mine for a long time, and he asked for a few t-shirts and hats for they have a really nice carpet on-road and off-road track. I think up in Ohio. No, maybe not Ohio. He's near Chicago, I want to say, or in that area. I don't know. Whatever state area that is in there. Whatever. He's somewhere in the Midwest right now, but closer to Chicago area. So they tagged me in all those pictures. So congratulations to everybody that won some NNRC swag, and thank you for the love that you guys show us up there. Shout out to LCRC up in Pennsylvania. They reopened this weekend after a long winter, and they got back racing. So that was good to see. A great facility up there. And yeah, man, I think that's it. I did have a few more shout outs, but I forgot. So I should have wrote them down, but I didn't. That's what if I don't write them down, I forget. So, if you guys have any people that you want to get shouted out, or needs anybody that needs a little lift, give us a call or let me know. Shoot us a message. All right, guys. So we are going to focus on PNB this weekend. I'm going to talk about that because we kind of did watch it together. Max, you was doing university things, so you did watch it when you could. Riley kind of watched everything, it sounds like.
Yeah, I was sleeping for the first 20 minutes of the Nitro Buggy main, but I did see the important part of it.
I was not very excited over the Nitro Buggy main, but we'll talk about that later.
Fuller kind of ruined that excitement for me.
I know. He did for me too. But you know what? There is hope. There is much hope. We'll talk about that. I am still 110% Team Fuller, and I am sweating right now because it's warm.
Yeah, we're probably his fan club, his biggest fans.
Yeah. We're all about Team Fuller right here. We're all about Team Fuller. All right. So we should go on to some RC news, guys. And this week's RC news is brought to you by Hi-Tech RC. Hi-Tech is excited to introduce their latest DB series brushless servo, the high performance, low profile DB778WP, manufactured with their high technology. Industrial servo innovation, the DB778WP's design and premium quality construction was built for demanding commercial applications. Yet its superior torque also makes it the perfect hobby servo for 10 scale 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive off-road buggies and touring cars. Engineered with their ultra-efficient brushless motor, high-resolution digital circuit, hardened steel gears, and an all-aluminum IP-67 rated waterproof case, the DB778WP excels when pushed to the limits on ultra-high bike carpet or clay tracks. Take on the competition, drive hard, knowing you are backed by Hi-Tech's 2-year warranty. You guys can go to hightech.com and find your latest Hi-Tech products. I'm still waiting. I got 2 going in my boat back there, which is going to happen. Thank you to Hi-Tech for all their support. They're also helping me get to Silver State. Greatly appreciate it. All right. So not much RC news. Barufalo wins the Reg GP. This is where, is this where the RCGP race is going to be?
No. Wait. I don't think it's a different. It's it's different. It's Gonzana. So I'm not familiar with this track, but
all right. So
most likely a very nice track because almost every single track in Italy is quite nice.
Dude, that track we was looking at last week was really nice.
Yeah, Balocco. Balocco is one of the more famous ones from Italy for sure.
But there was a lot of racing going on this week. Run us through real quick. This is the most significant one I saw was Barufalo beating Boots.
Yeah, so the thing has been though that Barufalo, he for sure has been looking like the clear second fastest guy, or even fastest guy challenging Ongaro this year. Surprised to see Berton struggling a bit. I don't know why. Polito has been like he's funny because he's always second or third, but he almost never wins. So he's like always almost there. But obviously this race mostly Reds drivers. So yeah, Butterfly won, Boot second, and Valente third. So all of the Reds guys there. Interesting bit is though that we discussed the Joe Bornhorst running HP rear end on his S Works. Now we've seen pictures of Elliot Boots running the S35-3 rear end, where it's a very narrow pivot, still the short arm, but then a lot of offset. So pretty much the old Kyosho rear end versus the sort of more modern S Works rear end, which is the S35-4 and the very positive offset and with a very wide pivot. So yeah, so clearly in the S Works camp, they have realized that the Mugen style rear end is probably not the way to go, because both the European and American team are trying different stuff. Just by wanting people to do things right, I wish they go the H-Bill style rear end route rather than go back to the Kyosho style rear end, because they are running the pillowable front end. So I think the H-Bill style fits that better. But yeah, decent results for Boots, and he's been having a few off races here and there, but the recent few events he's been doing all right. But obviously Marco is very talented, and as a driver, Ongaro and Barufolo and Berton, these guys just are so good. It's hard to beat them even for someone like Boots.
Unless they break out.
Yeah.
Barufolo has been finishing races though before this, so yeah, 2 Italian nuts down and both DNFs for him. So
yeah, did you see the track last week, Riley, that we put up on the podcast? Oh, it's so badass.
I think so.
Barufalo broke,
Yeah.
like hit a
Oh
pole
yeah,
under the bridge.
yeah. I seen that.
Like that
was
frustrates
amazing.
me so much when he does things like that, because
Dude,
I know
his
he
car
has-
looks
Yeah.
insane.
I know.
Too.
yeah.
He had so
But the
much
thing is
grip,
though that
like sideways.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what was the thing, but also Valente complained about people using additives. So I don't know if Barufalo was part of that, or because I doubt Ongara is part of that. He's usually just runs his regular package. So perhaps Barufalo had something to do with that, but I don't know what Valente was on about then. But yeah, Barufalo looked really fast then. He looked fast at DNC. He looked fast at Montpellier. He's been looking fast everywhere, which I gotta say, like, I don't know how he does it, because no one else has been able to do it with the techno on tracks like this. And even at DNC, like, Thibaut obviously was a bit faster in the main, but in the qualifiers, like, Barufalo is looking fast as hell. So he's doing something these other techno guys are either not able to do or aren't just doing in terms of setup or something like that.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, Ryan. And there was also some more racing. Sorry, but it was a lot of racing in the UK. I saw. So as things warm up, I saw, but I weren't sure exactly if they were like nationals or just one-off races. I know we have the Dirt GP coming up.
Yeah, well, there was some local races in the UK. They have those every weekend. But actually, one of the races we hadn't put it in our notes was the Pancar Euros, the 12 scale Euros.
Right. That Orlowski won, actually.
Orlowski won, so he TQ'd on one with the Schumacher.
And stock. He didn't TQ mod, right?
I think he TQ'd
Hackberg
both
did.
classes.
I thought Hackberg did.
Hackberg TQ'd day one, I think. I could be wrong though.
I didn't watch it.
Hackberg could have TQ'd. Michael TQ'd mod 2, but Hackberg overnight TQ for the first day. But yeah, it's actually interesting because it's Orlowski with a Schumacher, Hagberg second with an X-ray, and then Reinhardt a third with an Automatics. So there's a lot of brands up there. Michael looked very dominant though. He's just such a talented driver.
Okay.
That he can just dominate. But It's interesting because when it was the Worlds, I believe in 2020, I don't know if he TQ'd or finished second or whatever, but he was fighting for the win, but just didn't get it. Few past years, he's been fighting for the win at the Euros. Now he's finally got the 12 scale Euro Championship. So yeah, nice run by him, and happy to see him finally get it. And yeah, Hagberg's won it previously a lot of times, but
Yeah, he had a streak ended this weekend.
yeah.
Mika was one of the only people running both classes too.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, Hubert Hernigel and few of the
Jan Rakowski, I think's his name.
Yeah. Those guys ran it, but those aren't really the top in mod. So
isn't Jan more of a stock guy?
He generally is. Yeah, he runs.
He did good mod though.
He's one of those guys who I don't know what's like. They aren't really a pro, but they race all around the world, and he's been around for a long time. And yeah, but the ETS has a rule where you can only run mod or stock, so he oftentimes just runs stock at ETS. But yeah, this race
and they also had they also looked like they had Onward Worlds warm up, I think, at Steel City. So I saw a lot of I geek out over the 5th scale stuff. That's like the class that I
That's where Worlds is gonna be?
Yeah, I believe they're having the 5th scale Worlds there, I want to say.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought like on-road, because this year is going to be an on-road Worlds year again.
Well, then that's where they're having it. Then I believe.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Let me just find it on Facebook, because a couple of friends on my Postart RC was there, so that's why I was wondering what's going on, and I never saw a video from them. So. But man, I really love Fulls. I really like 5th scale. Yeah. That's what.
But actually, now that we brought the on-road Worlds up, this year is going to be amazing, because finally we have Reinhardt with automatics. He has a good car. He has good sort of rhythm going behind him. Coelho, obviously fast. The new X4, they have something to prove. He's won obviously already with it, but like get the Worlds under the car, and Bruno getting his because let's be honest, last time when Bruno won, none of the Infinity guys showed up. So Sabu, Reinhard, none of these guys showed up. So it's pretty much him and Velker, just them two. Now it's gonna be Reinhard, Sabu, Velker. All of these guys are in form. Naoto is showing up. All of these guys are in form. They have sort of a good rhythm going. And if they can just keep all of that up to the Worlds, it's going to be a pretty interesting on-road Worlds for sure.
Think Mika will go to Worlds?
Yeah, he'll go. The issue is just that
for 10 scale or for 10 scale on-road?
Yeah,
but electric, on-road, right?
Yeah, electric. Yeah. So we'll actually have both 10 scale electric and 10 scale nitro this year. For on-road for the Worlds, but yeah, I was specifically talking about electric, and yeah, the thing is, Michael is really good in on-road, but for some reason he seems to have some issues dialing his setup up for these races. So he's very good when he's like practice and stuff, or when he has a lot of track time. But when he has less track time, he seems to struggle. I feel, I don't know why that is. I haven't followed closely enough, but. I mean, he's a guy who could actually win it. I wouldn't be surprised if he would fight for it, but the package needs to be just right.
So I just wanted to clarify a few things. So that was the pre-Worlds for 5th scale, large scale that I saw at Steel City in SoCal, and then you have the IFMAR 10 scale onwards coming up in Gubbio, Italy, which are actually 1 week after the. It's not. It can't be right, because they got it 1 week after. It is 1 week after the Worlds.
8 scale Worlds.
Yeah, and then
they have it. I don't know why they do it, but it's like
I know Runnerfolk's gonna.
Yeah, like Runnerfolk and Coelho, both of these guys are running 8 scale Worlds and then 10 scale electric touring Worlds, and they are week after each other. I don't understand why they do
All
it
right.
that way.
Well, enough about that stuff. We'll deal with that when that comes around. But it was congratulations to the Polish Punisher on his victory, and I want to say shout out to my boy, the Doctor. I know he wants to keep that streak going, but man, Orlowski is fast. Like what can you say?
Yeah,
What can you say?
he's just crazy talented. There's no doubt about
Riley,
it.
you was next. You what up? Yeah, you was next on RC News, so I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah,
talk it
Team
up.
Associated just released the B6.4. Basically the same rear end. The front end's a little bit different. There's a new caster block, and then the bell cranks, you can change the height, so you don't have to get the +3 bell cranks. You can just put a spacer under them or above them, and that just makes it to where you have the right caster settings going through the corner for like high grip settings. They also went to 13 mil shocks, which is probably a bigger change than everything else. That just makes it so it won't fade throughout a run. Have more oil in there, and it's more dampening. Different piston. I know the internals and all that stuff, like the bushings and all that, that's all the same. The shock shaft's the same. It's just different shock body, shock cap, and piston. But,
Aren't other 10 scales 12 millimeter?
Yeah, these are the biggest shocks I've seen. I think Techno might be bigger, actually.
Yeah, Techno I think is 13, and not entirely sure, but I believe Schumacher is 13 as well. So I'm not a huge fan of going to bigger and bigger shocks like we have. I think it does work though. It because the shock shaft fills less space of the shock in percentages, so you have less of that effect of the body overfilling, and that's why you get that sort of fading effect, because the oil is on more strain. That's my belief. And also when you have bigger bore of the shock is smoother because of the fact that the shock shaft doesn't fill the shock as much. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this direction, even though I know it probably works better.
I think it'll be more of a tuning option.
Yeah, perhaps that could be actually true. But I'd like to see people try to figure something out with the piston rather than just working with the shock body. But yeah, I guess they liked it and they went that direction. And
well, they've had 12
better.
They've had 12 mil shocks since the B4.2.
Yeah. I mean, most brands do 12 mil. So some have, Schumacher and Techno have 13, and now Associate as well. So yeah, hard to say if it is the absolute right way to do it. But probably it will work better. But I don't think that's that. I think you can make the shocks work better other ways too.
You seen any of these hit your tracks up there, or anything like that yet, Riley?
No.
Riley seen some prototype ones. Nothing.
No, the pros just got theirs this week.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that new.
Yeah, oftentimes Associated does it that when they release, people get it.
Really?
Like I remember the B3.2. Like I was talking to people who were like on the factory team. Like they were like getting everything as they were produced, and they got it like a few weeks before release at best, and most of the time at release.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Anything else to add, Riley, on the Associated B6.4 or anything else?
Different springs. They're bigger for the bigger shocks, but I don't know how much that would affect things. It would be a little bit different coils, so I don't know.
So Associated now has like 3 different style of spring. They have the old ones, they have the V2s, and now they have these.
They might have two different styles for the new shocks.
Oh wow!
Oh, people will love that. Tuning
options. But that's weird because I mean, I guess that's what you got to do. But you could run the same spring on both 12 mil and 13 mil if the spring is already wide enough. But I think it wasn't then if they made new ones.
I do know, or I think that the thrust on the new diff is caged, so you don't have loose balls. It's easier to build, less maintenance.
Okay.
I just seen a picture of it. I didn't see it in the notes, but
I think
if that's the case, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that's similar then to X-Rays, the thrust spring. because I think they had that before. I don't know if they went back or forth or how it is, but
I haven't built an X-ray disc since like the 16, and I'm pretty sure that had just loose balls.
okay. Well, yeah. One thing I do want to say is that Associated has clearly taken the X-ray route where they just release a new car every year almost. B3 was released. B6.3 was released last year, and
About
then
this time.
6.2 was year before that. So yeah, they're pretty much going to a new model every year at this point, at least on the tool drive.
Yeah.
So now people's gonna need new pistons, probably new springs, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah, and I think the chassis was changed as well, right? But
Yeah,
it's
the
just
chassis was
really-
changed, but I think it's just wider. I think it's the same length. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
the
I know
length-
it's wider
yeah.
though.
Yeah, the length is the same, but I think what they did was they made it a bit wider in the front so you can fit the speedo further forwards. So,
Oh.
I mean, it's okay, I get it, but they've changed the chassis now for every single platform. Like people have like 10 chassis laying around because they just have got a new one each time.
Yeah.
And especially if you don't run dirt, the chassis don't even wear out. So like, yeah, it's like if I was a customer, I'd be like, oh god, I just run the old one.
Chassis definitely wear out at the Plex, that's for sure.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you're just
well,
running on
but
dirt,
that's-
right?
But
Yeah,
that's
it's dirt.
right? Yeah. With dirt, yeah, you can wear them out. But I mean, especially in Europe, it's all carpet. Especially if you're on AstroTurf, there's like nowhere at all.
I think
So-
you might have said that backwards then.
Okay, yeah, okay,
I'm wrong,
yeah, but I mean that's what I meant. But anyway, but yeah, I think like for me, like if I was a guy who had a even 6.2, like I'd just be like, fuck it, I'll just run that.
Yeah, I know a lot of the team guys around us are like, I'm not getting that because we got a couple
Yeah,
big races
like-
coming up.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, if it was something like new arms or new shock towers or new hubs, you're like, okay, I'll just throw that in, But now it's like a new chassis, new side guards, new front, like the steering system, like everything's new. So you really can't run the old one similar to this new one.
Oh, the
So it's
caster
like-
blocks also updated a little bit. There's only 2
Yeah.
holes now.
Yeah, but
A little
there's
bit
like so
less
much
material.
stuff, and it's so little changes that it's like you have to buy kind of if you want to run the new stuff, but it's still like annoying. So I mean I looked at the B 6.3 release, and everyone in Facebook comments were complaining that again a new car. So I guess this time it's even worse. I haven't checked.
It is. Everyone's calling it the AE Ray.
Oh,
AE Ray?
Yeah, mixing it with X-ray.
Oh,
but actually,
That's good,
to be fair to X-ray though, I think this might be just my sort of somehow cognitive bias or something, but in my opinion, when they release a new car, almost all of the parts are pretty much option parts that now are stock.
Yeah.
So it's
Just
not
like what
that
team was
they-
doing before.
Yeah, because I like that route much better. Because when you do that every year, you have a new chassis has a little bit more room in the front. It's like it's kind of pointless, but you still kind of need it to run it similar to everyone else. And it's the newest model, and yeah, I don't know.
I keep thinking of things they changed, but they also got like a better fan mount, so it's like further back and it's not blocked off by the body.
Yeah,
The little things like
fan mount.
yeah, it's like clipping a toenail.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
all right. Enough pink.
that's what
pinion,
yeah,
pink
that's what I
pinion
have about
fantasies here. Jesus, you guys are making me die. Like I felt like
You're
I was
so
gonna
bored.
fall asleep
Yeah.
talking about damn 10 scale and pink pinions and all that stuff. Damn it. All right, that's about it for RC news. All the associated guys will buy the B64 because that's what's just gonna happen, and then
Yeah.
they'll come up with the
will.
B64.2. And
you know what?
in,
I have
you
never
know,
seen AE do a 0.5. So what happens then? Is it the B7? Is next one B7?
No, yeah, it'd have to be B7.
Like 0.5 is outrageous already, right? Imagine like B6.12.
dude, I'm lost. I don't even know which number that one anymore. What was it? 7?
I think the only thing that's really the same is the front arm.
6.
It's been the same front arm since the B6. Everything else has changed.
Yeah. I mean,
And they're going to
The ball
Wasn't
studs are the
front-
same size, I guess.
Yeah. Wasn't the front like shock the mount, like the plastic part? I think that's unchanged too.
You know
The
what?
shot cap.
You know what?
No, the sort of the front, like which attaches to the side guards. That piece. I don't know what you call that.
We've spent
No, that's
entirely too
changed.
much
The
time
top
on
plate?
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that changed this
changed?
car.
Okay.
It's a little
Well,
bit skinnier. Same like everything, just for the bell cranks. I think there's more clearance.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, one thing that annoys me though is like I know they have to make new molds for these, right?
Yeah.
Like
I know
just,
that's
like,
where it's expensive.
My
That's why I
my
understand it.
my OCD brain hurts when stuff like this happens. You know, because I want stuff to be nice and neat and very sort of organized. And this is just to me, it seems like why?
Anyway, we got PNB to talk about. No more 10 scale stuff.
Yeah.
All right. You know what?
Enough of
Thank
10 scale for this year, right?
This year. Yeah. We'll talk about 10 scale next year,
Yeah.
and it's a world year. All right.
Yeah.
We're going to go on. We're going to talk about the PNB. That's brought to you by a couple of companies this week. So our first one is by Techno RC. Thank you, Techno, for all the support.
Techno RC. Techno RC. Techno RC is a premium manufacturer specializing in 8th and 10th scale high-performance off-road RC buggies and trucks. Visit www.technorc.com for a complete catalog of their products. Techno RC. Excellence in engineering. Hashtag Techno Takeover.
Thank you to Techno RC for their continued support. Also, we want to say that this week's race recap is also brought to you by TNR Fuels. Here at the NNRC, we're all about the glory, and that glory is Nitro. We're trying to get Riley all, on that wavelength as well. We will eventually. TNR Fuels is the hottest nitro fuel here on the market, owned and operated by Chris Nelson and his family, made by racers for racers. TNR Fuels is currently available throughout the USA, and I believe he's now shipping internationally. For more information, to buy some fuel or get this in your hobby shop or just run for an awesome company, please contact them at tnrfuels.com or contact Chris Nelson directly at chris@tnrfuels, or find them, shoot them a message on Facebook or House of RC. Thank you to Chris and his family. They got some big things going as well. All right, guys. So we had the Psycho Nitro Blast, the 15th iteration of this race. I know a lot of people think like it was a lot of hype around this race this weekend. It was good. People were excited on the internet at the race. It was a big freaking race. It was a big race. Like, I'm not going to lie. I knew that this race was going to be big. I had no doubts that it was not going to be big. And it was great. Like, I enjoyed it. Like, what I watched and all that stuff, I enjoyed it. So now we're going to talk about it. And I think we're breaking it down into a few things here. So I think we're going to break it down into like track, competition, all that type of stuff. So we don't go too wild off. And then we'll go into what we thought was wrong or what we heard was wrong. And then we'll go into the Will McIver and run in 2 classes thing as well. Because JQ's getting the blame for that, apparently. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. So... But yeah, PNB this past weekend, let's just talk about the amount of entries and stuff, because they did have record entries. It ended up being, at first it was almost like 1,100 and something, but it ended up being 1,010 entries with 478 people. So let's put that into perspective for a little bit.
Wait. That's smaller than DNC in terms of people, right?
Nope. It's actually 98 more than DNC. So
I thought DNC was over 500 people.
DNC had 972 entries and 380 people or drivers.
Okay.
So PNB has always gotten more people because they actually run less classes. So they always get more people.
East Coast don't run Nitro, right?
No, well, they don't run. They don't split the Truggy class up. I don't believe, and I don't think they have a
but
junior class.
yeah, but you're also the thing that when it's West Coast, everyone runs Nitro on the West Coast.
Yeah, but
So
even Nitro numbers were higher than DNC. Sure.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
well
it's
then,
just
There's
that
so
Ebuggy
many
numbers.
sportsman Nitro buggies. Oh my god.
Yeah, and like
yeah,
sportsman
fair game
Ebuggy.
then. Yeah.
So
Well,
I just wanted
okay.
to say something. I wanted to say something good about this because people think that I'm totally against high entry races, and I am looking at this race in a completely different form. The great thing about this is that the number of participants is almost half of the entry count. So it's
Yeah.
better on that sense. And and there was I think Sportsman Ebuggy was the biggest class there. Let me just bring it up real quick. So Sportsman Ebuggy was
There's like 9 heats.
yeah, so let me bring it up real quick. I should have had it up here. Here we go. Sportsman Ebuggy was actually 157 entries. Oh, the air conditioning came on. Woo! Thank you. So that's big. It was actually almost to 170 at one point. But it whittled down. And then Truggy, which I knew was going to be huge, was actually 132 entries. So Truggy, Ebuggy, and let's see what Sportsman Nitro Buggy was. So Sportsman Nitro Buggy was 108 entries. So that's still a lot. Maybe not as much as it was over at DNC. It was like 122, I think, at DNC. And it was 100 intermediate Nitro Buggies.
Okay, so yeah, they were just because I was under the impression that DNC had 500 people there, but I obviously remembered wrong. But those numbers are actually very nice. That's a lot of people there actually, not just entry.
I just wanted to say something why I think maybe we saw a lot more sportsmen. So I asked people that meant I was like, because I did see people that I knew that ran intermediate and all dropped on to sportsmen, which is fine. I don't care. Right. But I asked people, was it just that or was there new people there? And they said, because Truggy is also kind of like a newbie thing as well, I think. A lot of newbies get into that. So it's really encouraging to see this. And I have to give some props to why I think this is that way. And I might be wrong, but I think it has a lot to do with Mark Santamaria, because I think he encouraged a lot of the guys that are bashing, that are getting into Ebuggy, Truggy to come to this race. And I think he had a whole freaking compound, like two big, big tents set up. And so he probably brought a lot of people in. And that's really good, because I think that's, I give him mad props for that part of what he's doing. You know what I mean?
I think Mark was running Nitro Truggy too.
Yeah, but that's good. He needs to run more Nitro. So,
yeah.
But I think that's a combination of him. I also want to give Techno some props too, because they have been one of the most adamant Truggy companies out there. So,
well, that's the way they started Ebuggies and Truggies.
But they kind of got on the Truggy thing, and I still think they make probably one of the best ones out there. And between them and Mark, this has grown. Like I know JQ doesn't like it, and you probably don't like it, Max, but Truggy is here. It's not going anywhere, and it's actually.
I don't really actually at races like this. I don't really even care. I actually think it's good.
It's badass.
Just for the reason you said, I think something we haven't really thought about on the podcast or talked about on the podcast is these East Coast race time races. What they do well is they are pretty easy for a newbie to go to. Imagine you just live in Tennessee and someone's like, "Hey, this is gonna be a huge race." You just show up on Friday evening, go out there, run a few times, and then you have to just run twice, and that's it. And you can just go hang out and see all these guys here, and that's it's very easy for a newbie to go to, and then you get to meet all these people, and you get to spend time, and you get to see how big RC is. So that's something I think or at least I have sort of been blind spotted to. I think that's something that these race time events can do good.
How about you, Riley? What's your thoughts on the entries? The amount of people? I know you were stoked about it.
Yeah, there was so many people there. I think it's cool. I don't know. I feel like it'd be cool to have an entry cap, but it doesn't really suit this race because This race is more like a festival. You got your 24 hours of practice. So, like, it's already crazy. So why not have crazy amount of entries? It's just going to keep growing, though.
They openly say, like, this race is about as many entries. So I looked at this completely different this week. And you know what I mean? I was like, all right, so this is my...
Just as a spectator, though, it made it so long. Like, yes. I fell asleep probably 5 times that qualifying day just because there was nothing like exciting happening. It was like sportsman Nitro Buggy.
Well, I must admit, I kind of just watched the pro stuff as well because that's what I'm interested in. I didn't really... The intermediate has changed so much. I didn't know too many people in there. Even though Greg was in there, I wasn't staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning to watch it. But I think like I'm okay. Now, had this been 1,000 entries, and it's only 38 more entries than was at DNC, to be honest, in the entry count game.
Yeah, but DNC has 5-day race. It's not
right,
3 days.
exactly.
Yeah,
and this
different.
had almost 100 people more. So to me, that's the bigger and better number right there. That 100 people that came to that race.
And the thing is, actually, what I just said, the fact that a lot of it has to be new people too, because how big e-buggies and e-truggy especially is, and that is the fact that there's a lot of people there, not the amount of entries, but the people there, and the fact that how many sort of people are new, which obviously would have like facts, but it looks like there's a lot of new people. That's something that's super positive about this race.
Yeah.
We had a lot of Hobbyplex guys that went there, and it was their first time.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they knew this race was going to be big.
Yeah. I thought, like, had this been like 350 people and 1,000, I'd have been like, But it had a good, you almost had 500 people there. Like, that's good. I don't care what anybody says. That's good. It's not that very often you can say there are 500 people at a RC, 500 races at an RC car track. We can trick ourselves and say there were 500 entries, but there were actually 500 people there. So for me, I'm fine with that, and I'll explain why later.
It's crazy how many trailers were there, though.
I don't know, but a good bit.
People bring their own like RV trailer, There's I seen like a little snippet in one of Mark's videos, and so many trailers. A lot of people.
That's how DNC is too, though. To be honest.
Well, yeah.
DNC
but this is a very good spot too. Like the arena and like the facility is actually really good too, and it's great for camping because they do have like feeds and all like on live where you can get water and all that stuff, I believe. And even if you just bring your trailer and put it out in the parking lot, it's good. Because where we used to pit, we used to just go right out the back door and our van would be right there.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about the facility is that if it's cold, it's also cold inside.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people complaining about it being cold. Yeah. I see snow in Tennessee.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, it's unfortunate that it happened this weekend, so it's not like a big deal.
All right, let's talk about the track. So I'm not gonna lie to you, and no offense, Bobby, don't get upset with me, but I didn't like it at first. I had now a couple of my friends liked it. Like Salty Joe messaged me, he liked it. At first, I remember telling you guys I'm not liking this. That's probably also led to me not watching a lot. Okay, I shouldn't say I didn't like it. It was missing. I think during qualifying because the grip wasn't there, it was very difficult to watch some of the racing because it kind of didn't flow. And PNB has always been a race that had some big jump to it too, so that was kind of missing from this. But I got talking and I was like, all right, so Sunday I'm going to give it a new chance. Let's see how, I know the grip would come up and I wanted to see how the racing would be. And actually it was good racing. So while it didn't have that like super flowy, like AMS style type of racing where every jump was clear and, was really athletic looking. Was a lot of like, if you could get some of those laps done, and it's just a big freaking track too. Like it's huge. Like they used every little bit of that arena this time. And once I saw the Truggy main and then I watched the Nitro Buggy main, I changed my opinion on the track. It wasn't, I'm just being honest. Like it just didn't capture my attention right away, but it did during the race. And I was like, okay, it's good. It's okay. It's good. I didn't like the track cut, like a track cut that people were just jumping across. And I'm like, why even put that there? Just make it a corner or whatever. You know what I mean?
It
And
kind of
Tessman
worked
was
itself out.
yeah, I mean, Tessman was right though. It's like, hey, look, because it saved a lot of time when you got it right. If you did it the right
You're
way,
basically
you
jumping in that face of that little roller single thing.
So Tessman was correct. He's like, well, look, if we're gonna do it this way, then everybody has to be able to do it. So I think either they put something there that prevents you and makes it dangerous to do, or you just let everybody do it. But at the same time, I don't know why you put it there, but it worked out. It worked out. So I did enjoy the track in the end. I did. I would like to see, I know they're not doing any more wooden features, but I miss seeing, you know what? I'm trying to think of the words for it. Like that PNB style, like maybe that sick jump that they had, that they always had. They had a big jump. I mean, I know that used to break a lot of cars, so people didn't like that. But maybe bring one of them big jumps back where it was nice and sick, but with a nice, that's not as
quad
hard.
with a big run up. So like sportsmen or intermediate guys could double. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, well, PNB used to have like 60-foot triples.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh yeah. No, they're triple. They had a double triple that was massive.
Yeah. So I think they went safe, which is fine because it was really technical, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And it's
there's a thing everywhere.
Up. Yeah, it's like those guys had nowhere to relax, even on the straightaway. Like getting on the straightaway wasn't easy fast. Like you could see where the cars are super edgy, like and they were catching those ruts coming onto the straightaway and all that stuff. So in the end, the track worked out and it was super technical for those guys. I think the Ebuggies and Truggies were better on it though, to be honest. That's just my opinion.
Definitely.
Yeah, they could do the jumps.
Yeah. So didn't have that. I get what Bobby was trying. It was very technical. The option lane did you guys see anybody use the outside option lane? I didn't see anybody use it.
No.
Well,
nobody used it.
Holy shit.
So they had a split lane.
I seen Dakotah Phend walk it. That's the only time I seen somebody there.
Yeah.
So I get why they did that because it was cool at the Nationals, but it didn't work out to this one.
I don't know what Bobby even was thinking.
It would have been cool.
Just watch it, and it's you can see that it doesn't work.
Max. Remember, we have to keep on.
It would have been cool after that, like off camber waterfall section, like after that double, and then it comes back towards the front section to that water or to the off camber, and then that off camber 180. It would have been cool there to have like some jumps on the inside, and then have it to where you could just pin it on the outside where that tabletop was. Where there's no flow in that section.
Yeah, that's why only like in that section that you're talking about right there where they had that tabletop. Yeah. It was only the Ebuggies and Truggies that I saw that were able to jump that
I
properly.
seen in the main, there's a couple Nitro Buggies that cleared it, but you had to have a perfect run up.
Right. I saw exactly what it wanted to happen in that section, but I think that tabletop messed it up because it's just a little bit too long.
And it got chewed out. Like the landing was like all messed up.
So, but otherwise, it's still made for I think it made for great racing in the end. So that's my opinion.
Go now?
I don't know what you guys think of the track.
Now when you have licked Bobby's ass enough, I'll go. So I know.
We're not trying to be savage here.
No, I was just kidding. You were pretty fair, to be honest. I'm not like hugely differing from your opinion, but I think my feelings, I'd have to say, it's just that like Bobby has said this, I think, at least I've heard it, and Bobby does this where when it's Southern Nats, he does a certain type of track, where it's AMS, he does a certain track, and when it's PNB, he does a certain type of track. So this year, I mean, it was big, and it had that concrete section,
which I liked,
but that's about it. Like nothing else about this track was a PNB style, because every year the PNB style has been fast, it has been flowing, it has had sort of hip jumps, high speed hip jumps, it has had some sort of places where you need to keep your speed up, like big sweepers. I don't mind the lack of big jumps, because in my opinion I don't like when people who come up to this race and get their only 2 qualifiers and they happen to break on the big triple, because those are very risky, and you could just catch a rut or some little stone on the ground and then just car goes upside down in the air. So I don't mind the lack of big jumps. I actually prefer it this way. But I think like the previous PNB layouts have been so much better. Like last year was amazing. The track looked really fun. But this year just a lot of sections had no flow at all. Like the corners would just stall you, the jumps would just stall you. The center tabletop section, like he just made the jump too big. Like just too big. Then on the left side, the corner cutting thing, even a blind guy with a stick could see that you can just jump over it. And then when you go over the back section, which was pretty nice, and the sort of switch back and then you go up and turn down, and then the option lane where again blind guy with a stick goes there, says, hey, like this pipe is way too far out. Like if he would have wanted it to work, he would have had to make the little jumps on the inside much higher where you actually stall the car a bit. He would have to drag the outside where the middle pipe more further forward to the track where you can actually go around the outside. He could have even put a berm in there, a small berm, so even if you take the Joker, you can still go over it. So you can carry on the speed on the outside and go there, but he did none of that. So yeah, I'm just, the thing is, like, I
so
have
you didn't
never
like the
had
track. That's
any...
what I'm trying to. I guess you didn't like the track, Max.
But
That's
the thing is, it still worked all right. It
Right.
wasn't bad. But the thing is, like, I know Bobby is better than this, and I have seen like almost every track he has done has been better than this track. In at least what I saw.
I
And
would
thing
give
is,
the
like,
track
now-
a C+.
Okay.
Because
That's
75% of the track was pretty dialed. Like after like, so like the concrete section all the way to the first double, like after the straightaway, perfect. I love that section. Like
No,
it
I
had good
mean-
flow all the way, like from the
Okay.
before the Joker. From that section
Yeah,
on,
okay.
it was pretty
Yeah,
dialed.
I'll say this. That section alone was fine. When you combine it with the left side, because the right side of the track, that side of the track was like slow. You were technical, you had to keep your line, keep it calm. But then when you have a chance to make the track open up, have a high speed section, that never came. It was just jumps that were timed wrong and didn't really work. So, like, I know Bobby will listen to this and then give an angry call to Keenan again, but you have to be honest,
I
because
hope he calls
like,
you.
I actually hope too. But the thing is, like, I have never had anything against Bobby's tracks, anything either way he actually thinks, but I have never had anything against them because they are usually very, very good. I have never ran a track Bobby has built that is like bad, or actually almost all of them have been very good. So because I see this, because I know he can do better tracks, that's why I'm saying all these things. Like, they're so obvious mistakes that you could just run a car on the track for 5 minutes and you could figure all of them out. That it's just disappointing because, like, I love the space he has, the fact that he uses all of it, and the chances for high speed track in that is so good. So it's so disappointing that he didn't utilize it very well. And all that being said, the track wasn't awful though. It was like everyone went around nice, they drove around nice, but just small mistakes everywhere, in my opinion, the design. And I don't know if I want to even bring the Joker lane up because, like,
We'll talk about the Joker lane in the negatives, in the racing.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. Riley, your thoughts
Okay.
real quick. You said a C+ on the track.
Yeah, I actually like the Joker lane. I think it's cool. But yeah, C+. There's some sections that definitely didn't have flow. It was just a little, like, the section that should have been a rhythm or even wide open would have been cool. Have the split lane there. That would have been cool. But the corner cut, I understand. Like, I've definitely raced on tracks where there's a huge corner cut, and because you could clear it on the outside was the, like, reason that you could take that as a corner, or take the cup line. But yeah, C+. Could have been better.
I'll tell you what part of the track I really didn't like. like, think when you came after the straightaway, you made that turn and it was like a single, and then it had like a jump on the inside. Like, it looks like you should double it, but guys are just jumping right into the face of it. And I was like,
Oh yeah, that.
I was just like, either making a double or don't have that there.
I think I did see somebody clear it, but they just like washed so far out.
Yeah, it looks like you're supposed to clear it. I was just like, I just didn't like that.
It should have been
one thing.
His idea was good, but the sort of second jump there, that was
left, but he'll be back.
too big. If he would have made it smaller, where you could keep some speed over it, then it would have flow better. But yeah, the thing I'm kind of trying to say is, like, there were so many points of the track that killed the flow of it. That's why I didn't really enjoy it that much. When we looked at it in our preview podcast, I saw it had potential, but I also saw a lot of this stuff that happened could happen. So that's why I said I was interested to see, and now that I saw, yeah. Well,
all right. Well, let's go on. Right. That's because we're not trying to drag this one all night. We do have some things to talk about. All right, let's talk about coverage, communication, and the show. I'll go real quick, real fast. I thought Live RC did a good job. It was better than last year's coverage. They had more cameras. Scotty was on going on to the pit lane and getting interviews, and he was getting interviews of drivers after the races. I saw Jacob was super busy, so he had lots of pictures up, so that was good. I saw the communication was great. Like, they had a watering schedule. They had video drivers meetings, which were good, to explain everything so everybody could go look at that. I do know that, like, I heard that, like, they finished qualifying at like 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, and then like sportsmen, or 3 o'clock in the morning, the sportsman guys were up at 5 and they didn't know, or they didn't get they didn't know when they were going to be up to 4. So but that's kind of hard. So all in all, I think they did a great job there. The show was bigger, badder. Obviously, Dave ran all out, his podium, his everything, the Jumbotrons. He's had that for a couple of years. I heard maybe not as much monsters this year. So that's good too. I mean, I get that's his thing, but I mean, I would I'd rather see badass trophies and all that type of stuff and good coverage over monsters. And I'd rather see the rocket car back.
I'd say the RC crowd prefers pit chicks more than monsters.
Yeah. And I just want to say congratulations, because I think Live RC done a great job. So congratulations to all those guys involved. I thought they did it a great job, great camera work as well. And the show, kudos to Racetime. They did it big again this year. I thought it was great. I wasn't even there, and I almost wanted to be there because it looked like it was a good show. So that's my thoughts on that. Go ahead, Riley. You're next.
Coverage was pretty awesome. They could have added some more like features, but it's cool. I think they could have done a track walk or just something to like break up the dead air. But after that, yeah, it was pretty awesome. The show is insane as always. It's PNB. You just have to go there to experience it because it's crazy. I haven't been there, so I need to, so I can have a full perspective of it. But it's from what I see, everyone always has fun. All the guys that I knew that went there, they were messaging me saying they had a blast. It was more fun watching the races, they said, because I don't think they enjoyed some of the sections where you couldn't, like, you did have the roller that wasn't all that fun for the guys. The girls, love that. Other than that, though, yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm all right with the girls.
I'm not even fan of having pit girls, but
I know you don't like that.
My moral
pit guys.
No, they don't want any exploitation of women.
Anything.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. My moral compass is different than most men in RC, I think.
Oh god, that's gonna get a whole bunch of messages delivered to me.
So you don't want trophy girls?
Believe it or not, like a lot of the European guys I know feel that way.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah,
they think it's like they
that's like the reason to win right there.
I'm all for trophy girls, by the way.
In Europe, we tried to get away from exploiting people earlier, but Yeah. Okay.
That's
so
what they think.
The show.
They basically
the show,
don't like to use it because they think they believe it's feminine exploitation, which I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs of all that, but I just know that's why they.
Oh no.
All right,
Max,
I got a
not just
question.
Max. I know
got
a couple of
question.
guys that feel that way about that.
No.
Is there
gotta be
strip
honest
clubs
here.
in Europe?
Much less than in America, but okay, that's
Okay.
not like
Okay,
that
sorry.
was just a side point. But and also like just to be clear, these women who were at PNB obviously are most likely friends of Dave or
Yes.
or know Dave, and they very much most likely wanted to be there. So I'm not. That was
Right.
just
Max
a
is
side-
against the paying
side-
for girls to be there in bikinis and all that type of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Where I'm
And
just
I
like,
don't
I'm
like-
fine
and
with
Cool
that.
motorsport style.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
if
and
there
the
was
thing is,
more
like-
female racers and they wanted men in sexy bikinis too, they could have that too. I'm fine with that.
And
So-
realistically, I don't really give a shit. But
All right,
okay,
so
let's get
Anton,
back
what
to
about the show,
coverage.
Max? Give it. Look, we're rambling
Show
on.
was great.
Show was
show-
great.
Like, but the thing is, like, PNB is always like the show is great. It's always been great.
But it was better
And-
this year. It was a lot better this year for some reason.
You think?
A lot
I
better.
mean, okay. Well, I'll give you. I didn't really notice any big difference. I'm not much of a show guy, but as much as I see it, it's always great, and they do it really well. So I don't have any like just thumbs up for that, and that's great. In terms of coverage of like live RC and stuff, I mean, it is what it is. It's when Scotty goes and Tyler Hooks goes, it's the same almost every time. Like last year in 2021 PNB, DNC, that was great. Like they actually tried to do stuff.
Yeah,
Since
they did
then,
a lot
I
of
haven't
lot of
seen-
different stuff at that race.
Yeah, like since then I haven't really seen anything change.
They haven't done anything
Just
to that level
Scotty
yet.
and Tyler making jokes and having fun, and then calling a race sometimes. No, but I mean it is like most of the time it's just Scotty and Tyler Hooks talking about short course tracks at their home track.
Well, we needed them
That's
in
not
the
even
mains. We needed them in the mains to keep the joke.
Tyler
away and
talking
things.
about that one Nats win he got.
Oh,
Yeah, and
I
that's
didn't-
that's not even dig at anyone. Like that's just my
That's just what he does. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
it's-
didn't
I've
talk
never
about
heard
things.
him talk about it though. That's the thing about it. I'll be honest with you. I only watched the pro stuff this week. I only watched the pro stuff. I didn't
well,
even
but
watch
the
Ebuggy.
thing
I was
is
asleep.
though, like, and I want to say this: Tyler Hooks is all right. I think he's much better on the interviews. I like Tyler when he does the interviews.
Mhm.
On the broadcast, I don't think he's sometimes a bit out of time, but he's all right. But yeah, Scotty is good. Scotty's always great. So
I think when Tyler isn't racing, he's better.
True. But I mean, I
So-
think for live RC, Tyler he does very good for online.
In the higher
for
Riley.
website,
That's what they need to do.
and
It's a good idea.
And Tyler does very good on the interviews. And I haven't seen them do pit walks, but I saw him do a J Concept pit walk at the Nats, and that was great. So Tyler, that's something Tyler has down really well. And Scotty,
Yeah,
like,
Tyler does
I mean,
a lot
every-
with J Concepts.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing about Scotty is like he's Scotty, like he's great, and like I don't really even have to like explain why he's great because it's like he's good.
He's world class.
Yeah,
So that was good. I did appreciate that. I saw much more effort in the coverage this year than it was last year. So I was super happy about that. More cameras, more getting out of the booth, interviewing,
I like
all
the
that type
split
of stuff.
screen.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. All right. So Max, I don't know. Before we go on any further, I gotta pay some bills. So, this podcast is also brought to you by Beach RC. They were there. They had fun. Thank you to Lucas, Brent, and everybody at Beach RC for their support. We have some affiliate links there. If you guys could go there, it helps us out. Get us a little slice of that. Helps me buy maybe a battery or something for my RC car in about 6 months. But yeah, we appreciate it. And thank you to Beach RC for all their support. And check them out. A real brick and mortar hobby shop, putting back into racing.
BeachRC.com, the racer's one-stop online hobby shop. Choose from all the popular brands and variety in stock with super fast shipping and great customer service. BeachRC.com still has the local hobby shop feel with all the benefits of the internet. BeachRC.com is the exclusive distributor for Ultimate Racing, JQ Racing, Pro Circuit racing tires, Nitro Lux fuels, and Assault RC performance products. So fill up your cart and check out at beachrc.com today.
All right. Thank you to Beach RC for their continued support. Shout out to Brent. Them guys had a good weekend. Dakotah Phend won. Riley trying to fix his thing. I had to mute him for a second because he's making a bunch of noise. So check them out, guys. Check out Beach RC. We have an affiliate link. It helps. Every little bit helps with us. And we appreciate it. So let's get on to the pro side of the racing.
We are an hour in and we still haven't discussed any racing.
I know.
I've been savage accidentally because I'm so bored. So I have to sort of entertain myself. Riley's all discombobulated. You're mute. You're mute. Keenan, you are on mute.
I was just talking all that time for nothing. Ryan's busy trying to fix his screen. We're going to talk about Pro Nitro Truggy because I thought this was the best main out of all of them. I don't know if you watched it, Max.
Should we just do we start with Truggy, then Ebuggy, then Buggy?
Yeah. Then we'll go into Nitro Buggy. I'll be honest with you, I was not very excited about Nitro Buggy.
Yeah, but let's do.
We're gonna go through these real fast.
Yeah,
is Riley here?
Let's
okay,
do,
there's Riley.
We need to cut this shit out. So let's do
All right, so this race was actually really good. 18 cars. Greg Degani says, as Greg Degani says, A main and 80% of the B main because he thinks that it should only be 10 people in a main. But I mean, there's no other way to do this with this many entries. So this turned out to be a really good. Is Riley? Are you there? Can you hear us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for me, this was the most exciting race. I really got excited over the Joker lanes with this because Mason Fuller literally waited until the last lap to do this. I believe he did one right away, I believe, with these guys and stayed with them. So this pack got out to that start, and then it was a good race because I just think the Truggies worked better on this track too. They were able to do this a lot better, and they were able to go through these whoops a lot better and all this type of stuff. That's where they were cutting the track right there. Ooh,
they were a bit of haul ass.
Bornhorst, man. Bornhorst was looking good for some time. But Phend always looked fast. I really thought that Mason was gonna get him, to be honest. And it came so close. It kind of was, when he went for his. I think he might have waited a little bit too long for his Joker lane. But I will say this: it made it so freaking exciting.
Yeah,
I thought he came second.
I think if I was in this race, I would have just tried to Joker with whoever was leading or whoever I thought was leading, so the pace.
Yeah,
right.
But here's the thing, though. Okay, the Joker made it exciting, but instead of Phend and Fuller being like 10 seconds apart for 30 minutes or fighting against each other, switching positions here and there, sometimes making mistakes, making passes, which one is more exciting?
Now I will be honest with you. When I was watching this, I was listening to Scotty and Tyler, and they did a really good job explaining the race, but you couldn't see those battles. But I knew that Mason Fuller was close in the back of my brain, and I was able to track it. But I wasn't able to track it in the Nitro Buggy race, and it really got boring for me.
Of course, and but even then, like the Joker, I'm fine with having the Joker, but in my opinion, this one it's too big of a cut. Like,
I agree.
Make the Joker at most 5 seconds of a cut, and even better would be to not make it a cut, to make it a sort of an extra lane.
Mm-hmm.
So make it sort of a sandbox section or a whoop section or something that's really slow but doesn't take up much space. So you lose, let's say, 5 seconds when you go on that. So it doesn't happen so that the guy who does the Joker gets in front, but it's that the guy who hasn't done the Joker gets out front. And then the guys who did it first, they are sort of trying to catch up. And now the issue with this is because the cut is so big, these guys are racing just against the clock. They aren't racing against
That's
each
how
other.
I felt. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Not in this main so much because I was kind of able to track it.
And they stay together.
Yeah. But in the Nitro Buggy main, like Mayfield done his we'll talk about it. And I just was like, and I kind of felt like you did. Riley, go ahead real quick because you are a big fan of the Joker lane. And just tell us what your thoughts on this Truggy main real quick.
I like the Joker, but I definitely think a Joker lane should add time and not take away like 10 seconds like it did here.
Yeah. So I mean, I love actually the idea that when they came up with the Joker lane, it was great. But when I saw that it cut the track, I was like, what's going on here? Like, I don't know why
they've done that a couple times.
Yeah, they have. It's been like that.
But it's always been the cut. So, but I don't know why they don't understand that it's not as exciting this way. And especially when the cut is this big, then all of these guys are just on their own clock. It's so hard to follow.
I don't think the exit should be on the high-speed section like it was.
Yeah,
that's just a collision waiting to happen.
Yeah, so
because it goes right into the lane, like both lanes are crossing. If it was like a slower section and then you just like had a transition into a corner, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I love the idea of a Joker lane, but the execution of it is lacking. And here, like, if we didn't have the Joker, we could have had an amazing Fuller Phend battle for 30 minutes.
Oh yeah,
we did miss that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Phend, TLR, I will take my contingency money via PayPal, please. Friends and family. US dollars. I did
They'll
not pick
send
him.
a cease and desist instead.
I thought that Phend, I thought this is the beginning for Phend, and I thought he was gonna dominate this weekend, but he definitely did well in Truggy. I'm just gonna mute Riley because it's really loud right now.
Yeah.
He was good in Truggy. He was good in Buggy, but Truggy, he was just able to put it together. I mean, he even threw I think he's the only one that I've seen that threw a 43-second lap. His hot lap was a 43.6. So that's super impressive.
Yeah. One thing I've been impressed by is how Mayfield and Phend have just sort of shared
heads and shoulders above everybody else.
Yeah, last year was just like, can Phend hold it together? And he never did. But this year he's been consistently holding it together, and then Mayfield is his usual self, and then like even now, like Fuller is sort of.
He's my only hope.
He has a one sort of leg in the door already, so he just needs to kick it in.
Yeah, I would agree there.
I think Fuller has the pace. He just needs to stop making those stupid mistakes. And it's normally in a high-speed section, like where it's all rutted. He doesn't do too many like super dumb things. It kind of catches him off guard, but still, if he didn't have those, he would have probably won everything.
Yeah, I think Fuller's thing is right now that he knows he's quick and he knows he could battle, so he overdrives just a tad bit to keep up, and that's
his driving style a little bit too.
Yeah, but he needs to be where he's like, because the thing is that Phend and Mayfield are most of the times comfortable going the pace they are doing. Whereas I believe Fuller still is getting used to that pace, and he needs to sort of find the comfort going that fast, and then he can do what Phend and Mayfield are doing almost every race.
All right. Well, I'm going to go over our top 5, some notables. Dakotah Phend, number 1. Ryan Maifield, 2. Mason Fuller, 3. That was exciting. Rivkin in there for silent 4. Cole Ogden, 5th. Jared Tebow, 6th. He wouldn't be happy with that. Tyler Jones, 7th. Spencer Hackett, 9. Cavallari, we're going to talk about Cav a little bit. 10th. Cole Caston coming off his RC2, doing pretty well, making that. And then it's like Joe Bornhorst, Jackson Bronson, Cole Tallard, Wiggins, Vale, Lutz, and Seth Van Dalen at the end there. So that was your Truggy main, 18 cars in there. It's a lot of cars, Let's see. Are we still sharing that screen? All right. So let's go on to Ebuggy, which I just watched, and Mason kind of ran away with it. Oh hail, Mason Fuller. Yay, yeah. Nitro Buggy is just a matter of time. That's all. Who else?
Yeah.
Let's see who else was in. I know people were like, you never give Ebuggy no love. Well, I mean, I didn't watch it live. You know.
No, but okay. Here's the thing: Ebuggy is a 10-minute main, and most of the time, like people blow out. Like even Mayfield, he blows out quite a lot of times in Ebuggy, because if you get a bad start, you only have 10 minutes to catch up, and with this level these guys are going at, it's like Mayfield doesn't give a shit about a fourth, you know.
Yeah.
So he's not gonna like be on it after that.
I think they should have double mains. I know it's impossible with this type of race, but I always prefer Ebuggy mains to be double mains. Yeah. What about you, Riley? What do you think? We should have double mains for Ebuggy mains? I think so.
Yeah. The single main for like a whole weekend's build up is really disappointing. It could have had a lot more racing, but I did like watching Fuller just dominate. That was cool.
Yeah, I'm 100% on with that. Domination.
I'm glad he didn't have to come back and challenge that.
Good run for Tyler Jones, but Tyler Jones needs to get these results in Nitro too.
I was actually pretty impressed with that after having 2 not so great finishes.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Techno is always much better in Ebuggy and Truggy than Nitro Buggy for some reason. I think it's the sort of design philosophy of the car. It works much better in Truggy and Buggy, but I think Tyler has been looking the best in Ebuggy for a long time. Same with Tebow and so on.
Yeah, Caden Fuller made that race too, and Ryan Cavallari made it. So Ryan Cavallari made two A mains this week, but he hasn't made a Nitro main in a long time.
But when you say it like that, Ryan Cavallari made the main.
I know we shouldn't even be talking about him like that.
Yeah, that shouldn't even be a discussion topic. You know, that should.
There's not very many pro line guys in A mains this week.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that. Don't worry. We gotta get through this. Let's get through this, and then we can talk about that type of stuff.
But by the way, I wanna say about Rivkin though.
Okay.
3rd and 4th, and
that's where he's been all year. Last year, this year.
Like he seems to be like he's now here, and that's his spot now. He's 3rd to 5th every race.
Really? That's where you got him, 3rd to 5th every race.
Well, almost every race. That's where he's been though.
I see him 2nd through 7th.
Okay, 3rd to 5th or DNF basically. Because
Max. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, dude, but like last year he was 2nd to 4th. Now he's 3rd to 5th because Phend has picked up. So it's like that's his spot now.
No offense to Ebuggy guys, but it was just one main. Mason Fuller killed it. Fucking fuck yeah. That's all I care about. Fuckity fuck yeah. Mason Fuller killed it. Congratulations, Team Fuller. Nitro Buggy. Yeah. So I was super excited for this after watching the Nitro Truggy race, and I was like, I was 100% like Mason is going to win this. Like I deep down in my soul and heart, like thought that Mason was going to win this. Like I did. I really did. So, and then like, he just kind of, I thought he was at one time, but that's where I lost interest in this race. I have to admit, as much as I liked the Joker lanes in the Truggy, I did not like it in the Nitro Buggy race because I was like, I just felt like, I felt kind of like how you felt, Max. It was like, these guys are racing on the own clock. They don't know. It's like qualifying out there. Mayfield took all 3 and he's still in front. He's just walking away with this. Like, and I'm just like, what the hell?
But here's the thing. If you start out front, you just take all 3 immediately because then you just have clear track for the rest of the main, no matter what. If you don't crash, you just have clear track until the end of the main. And so the Joker lane doesn't even play a part if you're in the... I mean, even if you're in the top 3, you should take all 3 straight away. Oh, Keenan's gone now. But yeah, that's the issue with the Joker. But I mean, we kind of went already through it. But I gotta make a little humble brag. I think I picked Mayfield for the win and Phend for the 2nd. So I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure I picked that. I picked Mason for third, which he did not end up finishing. He finished in fifth. But Bornhorst was actually in third, which was surprising. He was second for the most of the main. So for the
I didn't
most,
pick anyone for anything. I just thought Mason was going to do really good.
yeah. But I'm not sure if they ran the HV rear end here as well. I'm pretty sure they would run it if they ran it at previous races. But yeah, Joe Bornhorst is definitely now a top dog. He's not anymore average Joe. He's not even above average anymore. He's just Joe now.
He didn't do great in Ebuggy, but yeah, Joe is doing pretty damn good.
Yeah. I don't know where the hell Keenan went, but
I'm back. Somebody had unplugged my laptop, and I just saw it, so I was almost ready to die. Yeah, Joe did pretty good, man. He was fast. He didn't do too well in Ebuggy and Nitro Buggy, but he ended up finishing third this week. A solid third, actually. And he wasn't too far off Dakotah Phend in the end. So let's get this playing again. So for me, like I said, I just kind of lost. I feel. I know everybody's like, oh, Keenan, you just really want Mason Fuller to win and all this type of stuff. But I just think that I kind of lost interest in this race because they weren't racing each other. So, and then I was like, and then you have to wait to the end, and then he crashed like on his Joker lane, and I was just like, like all that build up, and then it went on one crash. I mean, he did make crashes and mistakes in between that. But I mean, like, dude, it's like the only person to interrupt Maifield or Dakotah Phend winning this year in Nitro Buggy and last year this year has been Tessman. So it's like you throw Joker lanes at Pavidis. You throw Joker lanes at Maifield. Yeah, he doesn't care. He just doesn't. Like, he just knows how to win, man. Maifield just knows how to win. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, he just knows how to win.
I mean, Phend is now almost there. He's won already a few times, but when it's not Phend's day, sort of like when Phend is on it, he's on it. But when he's not, he isn't just good enough. Because Maifield can challenge Phend on a Phend's good day. But Phend really can't challenge Maifield on a Maifield's good day.
I would agree with that. Well, I think he can on Phend's best day. But not, like Mayfield's learned how to do it when he's not 100% on it. You know what I mean?
Like, the thing is, like, Maifield handles pressure so well. Like, Phend, I don't feel he does as well.
I feel like it's the opposite way around for 10th scale.
I
think Phend's the 10th scale guy right now.
I think Phend's the best all-around driver in the world right now. Period.
No.
Yeah, because he's doing better in 10th scale than Ryan Maifield.
No, but I mean, like, come on. Like, if you take Coelho and people like that.
On 10th scale right now?
If you just
beat Orlowski and those guys down in Florida.
Yeah, only in tool drive. Orlowski on 4 drive still. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But like, Phend is the number one in America in 10 scale. There's no questions about it. But if it's 10 scale worlds, I'm not picking him for the win. Like, I'd pick him for second or third or perhaps the win. But it's not like he's gonna win 10 scale worlds. And if it's an 8 scale worlds, I'm not picking Phend for top 3 just because it's in Europe.
All right. I wanted to talk about a few things here in this Nitro main before we went off. Ty Tessman 6 had a bump in from the B main.
Again.
Cole Ogden, another bump in from the B main. Who else bumped
these
in?
Two. By the way, these two, if these two bumped in, it's insane because they have bumped in the last like 5 big events or something. Like how do these two not qualify well?
I don't understand it. All right, so and then we'll talk about that. But also, big shout out to Little Bump making the main. He's 13th. Like, you know what I mean? So had this been a 15 car main, he probably would have either been on on the BQ or he would have been on the bubble. You know what I mean? So that's good to see. And people that will want to forget this man would be Jared Tebow. He looks like he just had, let's see, did he have issues? Yeah, he had like on lap 6, he had 116 second. Tyler Jones will want to forget about this.
Yeah, but even the Jared's pace, not
yeah, he just
great,
wasn't.
though.
Usually Jared might be up there in qualifying. He was just nowhere to be seen this weekend, unfortunately. And another great performance by Brandon Rose, 7th. So
yeah, he stepped up big time. I think RCGP was very good for him because he could show his sort of skill on many different occasions. Whereas because all these big mains, it's very easy to get sort of lost in there. But especially like the sprint mains, Brandon Rose is really good at RCGP. And like he's keeping it up. I mean, Nat's main here, like 7th, that's pretty good for him. It's very nice.
All right. Let's talk about, do we want to just go into the negative things or do we just want to say it right out here? All right, let's talk about it. No freaking pro line drivers in this main. Not one.
Yeah.
That's like even weird to say that.
I don't like, okay, let's be honest. There aren't many people like Aiden Horn and Cavallari.
And Cavallari is just on. Okay, so actually, just real quick, Seth and Dale and Ty Tasman co-Ogden were the 3 bump ups. I love Cavallari. He's the greatest of all time, but he is on the struggle bus big time. It looks like all the pro line guys on struggle bus big time.
No, but I mean, who are the pro line guys? It's
Aiden
just
Horn,
and
Cav,
and who else?
I don't know. Riley?
That's the thing. Like that's my point exactly. Aiden Horn and Cav are the only pro line guys, and like I don't know if it's the tires why they're struggling because Cav could be just struggling with the car.
True.
And Aiden Horn.
I'm not saying that he's struggling with that. I'm just saying he's on the struggle bus. I didn't say he's struggling because of pro line. But pro line's on the struggle bus too.
Well, obviously because they have 2 guys who one is a 10 skill guy and one is not doing very good. So it's like when you put all your money on one horse, it's you can lose pretty big. So that's what's happening now. It seems like.
Yeah, well, Cavallari hasn't made a Nitro A main in 3 races now. He didn't make it DNC. He didn't make it.
I mean, yeah, like it's insane.
He's not doing what I thought he would do. He's good in 10 scale though.
Yeah, Ty Testament has qualified in the B for at least 3 races in a row now, and Cavallari has not made the A. Probably, you said 3 races in a row. So there's like 2 very big guys who are like not like barely making mains or not making mains at all. That's
and
insane.
Cavallari finished 8th in the B. Like,
yeah,
what the fuck? Like, whoever thought that would happen? Okay, Riley, go ahead. I know you want to say something. Fire away.
Yeah, Proline definitely needs to figure out their team. They only have 2 guys, I guess, in pro that were there. I think no, Tater's not either. I'm trying to think of the Horizon guys because they try to get the TLR and then Proline together, but yeah, no, I'd like to see them get some more top guys.
10 scale, they seem to be okay. But
it's a little bit closer. Aiden Horn holds it up there.
But even if I talk to the people that ran Proline, like the regular people that ran this, they're just like, yeah, these guys are just making their own tire choices. They need to use this and that. So,
I don't know. I think the race time events, J Concepts is just that good.
Oh, it's obvious. I mean, let's just look at it. It was all J Concepts, and then it was a couple AKAs, and then the rest were hot race. But I mean,
there was a lot of hot race guys,
dude. Yeah. So look, let's go through the top 5. Hot race. I mean, sorry. So Ryan Maifield, JC, Phend, JC, Warnhorse, JC, Rivkin, JC, Fuller, JC. Then we had Tasman, Rose, Ogden, hot race. Jackson Brunson, JC, Ryan Pavitas, hot race, Little Bump, JC, Seth, JC, Cole, JC, Jared Riggins, aka Lutz, aka Setzer, JC, Jared, aka Tyler Jones, JC. Wow, that was a completely dominated JC. 18 cars.
Yeah, but we gotta be honest though too that a lot of those guys who are JC are one of the top guys. Like JC has a very good team as well, not just that the tires are working good, but the tires are good here on East Coast.
I'm gonna have to charge my phone.
No, Riley's probably gonna be out. Is he can still talk? Hopefully.
Yeah, I'll
mute
still
him.
talk.
We'll mute you. We'll mute you, and then when you're ready, you can come.
I'm ready.
All right. So, yeah, definitely Proline is on the struggle bus. I don't know if they're trying to do different things or whatnot, but it's definitely a fall from grace, like a big fall from grace with Proline, and especially a race with 18 cars in it, and they don't have not one.
Come on.
What about Cav though? Like, I mean, what does Cav do? He's in his last year of his contract, I would say. He's doing okay in 10 scale, not so good in 8 scale. I mean, he did make Ebuggy and Truggy mains, but he needs to make that Nitro Buggy main.
I want to see Worlds before I make any of my final conclusions, but I mean, it's not looking good for him. Like, if I was the guy who's paying him, I'd be like, ooh, like maybe we have to.
Yeah, but he's doing it on the 10 scale side pretty good. So
no, but I mean, you could get someone else who could do it on the 10 scale side for sure. Like,
we guys are writing Cav off already. All right, Riley.
I'm not writing him off, but I mean, he's gonna be like, he should be scared for his like place, right?
Oh yeah,
I'd be if I was him.
Riley, are you all good now?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, we're gonna go into the negatives of this race. We're not gonna be too long here, but we talked about all the positives. We think it was a great race. I just want to say kudos to Racetime and those guys for what they done. It was a great job. They worked their asses off. They had the most entries. They got through all those entries, and they did it in a way that there were no big hole-ups and stuff like that. So it's a lot of entries to go through, a lot of work. And congratulations to all the racers. Congratulations to Dakotah Phend, Ryan Maifield, and Mason Fuller. And congratulations to all the intermediate guys who done well. They had to run at 1:17 a.m. And congratulations to Jonah Wilson. He won that. I believe, intermediate E-Buggy. Oh, sorry, that's E-Buggy. They had the last race was the intermediate E-Buggy main. And even in 40 plus, I want to shout out to Donald Elliott for winning that. Adam Drake won it. I mean, Adam Drake's going to run that. Greg didn't win 40 plus, dude. He didn't look too happy on there. He didn't run all day. Huh? Drake won 40 plus. Greg came. He came.
Why is Drake now allowed to run 40 plus?
I'm pretty sure Drake was up by 2 laps.
Yeah, Greg finished 5th in this race. He finished 5th in intermediate and 5th in 40
Did
plus.
Paul beat him?
Let's see.
I think Paul broke out.
No, he did not.
Oh.
He did not.
He has been breaking out quite often now.
E-Clip was at this race. Oh my gosh! Like E-Clip made it to the East Coast.
I've seen a lot of Facebook posts about him.
So yeah. So congratulations to all them guys, man. Because all the sportsman guys that came out and raced. If that was your first time, let's see who won the Sportsman Nitro Buggy. So Matthew Shistrunk won that. I saw people giving him a lot of crap for that, but hey, man, Matthew, like people think because you have sponsors, you're not supposed to run Sportsman, but there's no rules on that. I don't think at Racetime. And
yeah,
there should be, but
obviously not.
I mean, Matthew has also been a big. He raced a long time ago, but he's just racing for fun now. He did get some unnecessary shit for that, I think. And then Mark Zielder and all these guys. It's just good to see more sportsman guys out there racing. So shout out to everybody who made it through this race because it was hectic. I know I wouldn't have. I would have. The lack of sleep would have got me. So with that said, we're gonna go into the JQ Racing rant side of things because we have some rants that we want to get off, and we're not gonna be that long. Thank you to BRC for their continued support and everybody that made this possible. Are you guys ready to do some ranting about PNB?
Yeah, let's get it done with.
We are now at that point of the show where you should fasten those seatbelts and put your big boy pants on.
Whoa. Things are about to get serious.
It's time for the JQ Racing Rant.
All right, so it's that time of the podcast where we kind of throw all the rules out. We're just gonna let it rip. Tell people how we really feel. We talk very good about PNB. I still think it was great and all that stuff, but it wasn't perfect. There was some things that were on the internet I have a different view of all this type of stuff and all you guys go. So what do we want to tackle first? Do we want to tackle?
Let's talk about how Will's an idiot.
All right. Well, I know Riley wants to go at Will McIver. We're going to talk about Will McIver last because he's super heated about that because they got at it on Facebook. But let's talk about, I guess, first thing that everybody talked about was obviously the entrance, which I told you I'm fine with because they said this race is about the most entrance, right? They literally said that in their podcast where they bashed me for an hour. So it's all about the entrance. It's all about the entrance, and I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that. So we did see the long line. Now, what's funny about that is I sent that video to like Mike Hill, and Mike Hill was like, Lefty, that's not the line. That's just somebody up there filming. I was like, no, Mike, that's the freaking line. It's coming from the stand up the steps to where we used to pit. And he couldn't fathom it until a few minutes later. And he's like, holy shit, Lefty, that's the fucking line. And I was like, yeah, I know. So, but to be honest, I think people do that to themselves because you can easily go there at 2:00 in the morning and go practice and there's no line.
Yeah, I mean, okay, here's the thing. That line issue is so simple to fix. All you need is a fucking app and you say which time you go there and you're waiting in line, but in virtually. You don't have to be there physically.
Yes.
That's all you fucking have to do. So fucking simple. So I don't even. I don't.
Expensive
waiting in line is literally the
expensive.
worst thing to do at a race. You don't want to wait in line for like an hour or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's so. When I was there, it was 45 minutes, and it was like half of that pretty much. That line must be way over an hour. Well, depending on how quick they switch around. The thing is that I don't even give a shit about the line thing anymore because I know it's so easy to fix. All you need is some like a virtual line. So you have an app, you sign up to the race, you get to click there. I want to go. I'm in the line now. I'm waiting. Then when you go drive, you unclick it. There's someone that checks your phone or whatever, and like because there are guys who switch the heats around already. So you just do that. It's you don't even add. You need to add people to the organizers. So it's so easy to do. It's such a dumb issue that I don't really care anymore. Like if people go to the event and they want this to happen to themselves, then fine, have it.
Hey,
but then don't like complain about it. Then if you go to this event, unless Racetime are willing to fix this issue. Just don't go. Like, but if you're like, if you're fine with this, then fine. There's no issue then.
So, go ahead, Riley.
When this as long as this line exists at the Racetime event, I will be never going again because it was fucking shit show last time I went, and that was half the line. I know.
Okay, so we know you don't like the line. We know you don't like the line,
and we know people who are pros
don't like it either.
Like the line, but they still go to this event.
So they obviously like it. They like it.
So they must.
That's what I've come to the conclusion.
That's to me. The annoying part is people like, oh, look at this line, and then they still fucking go.
But just everybody's caught up. It's part of it's a byproduct of having the entrance. Like the line is going to be long.
No, it's not. It's
it
a byproduct
no, listen.
any system because you can have a virtual.
Oh, there is no
line.
system.
Yeah, if you just need to make a simple system, it doesn't even take pretty much any money. It takes a very little effort, and it could work flawlessly. Now, what I have to say of the format, otherwise, I don't mind it being 24 hours. That's great. That's fine. That's PNB. I don't mind qualifying going until 3 a.m. That's fine. That's PNB. And I don't mind people having 10-minute mains just so that they can have this big race because that's PNB. But the line issue is such a silly one. And it's so silly when people are like, oh, Racetime does great events and I like to go there. And then when they go to PNB, they post on Facebook like, oh, look at this line. This sucks so bad.
You know that's going to happen.
Complaining? You
know that's going to happen. Like that's going to happen.
Like you should know when you go there about something. It's such an old issue. It's such a simple thing to fix too. It's like I'm tired of even talking about this. Like,
okay, so let's stop talking
Max,
about it.
So Max,
Yeah.
what do you think
Let's
about
Riley
the line?
talk about it.
what do I think about the line?
All right, Riley, your thoughts. You don't like the line.
I agree. The lines, you do not want to stand in line ever. It's the worst thing ever. Honestly, you don't want to put the wear and tear on your feet. Just, it's boring, whatever. But other than that, I thought the format was pretty cool. I understand not being able to do 3 rounds, and I like how they added the extra couple minutes to the second qualifier. It also made it incredibly boring.
I don't mind that.
For the, I didn't like it for the sportsman classes because, well, I don't like watching that. It's super boring. But other than that, yeah, it was cool. I liked watching the extra
I think actually one thing I wish they would do. So I'll be now giving my suggestions, and I hope Dave will listen to this. So implement an app, or maybe contact Connie from House of RC, and he could implement it on his software, so other races could use this too. He would probably do it so that you wouldn't have any cost or work to do this. So contact Connie. He makes a sort of virtual line function on House of RC. Now you have a system where there's no waiting line. People get to still have their 24-hour practice just as they used to, but they have picked a line virtually. Okay, great. That issue's solved. No issues anymore. Now, on Saturday, when you have 1,000 entries, do it so that you have a first qualifier that's best 3 laps, or like that style system, kind of where you get AMS, but just have 1 round. And that's your sort of seed round. And then the second round is a qualifying race. So that determines your final position in qualifying. And then on Sunday, you just have the mains like you've had it before. Now you add 1 extra main for everyone, because no one really, like, okay, if you have bad luck in the seedings, that's a bummer because you just have 1 round. But either way, you get 2 races, and you get to actually race against people, and you don't add any time to the schedule.
All right.
That's all I really wanted to say anyway.
Okay, so I wanted to segue into the 2 rounds, not 3. Do you want to comment on that, Riley and Max, before I go on my?
Well, I said it was
okay. You said what you had to say. You kind of lost me.
I said
you was draining on.
I mean, I said the 2 rounds are fine. Like I
I'm just going to say my opinion at the end. So go ahead, Riley. Your thoughts on that? Something's up with your mic, Riley. It's kind of jumping around, so I'm muting you in between.
Oh yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, it should have been, or yeah, I don't know. I liked how they did it with the extra 2 minutes.
All
Pretty
right,
much said my piece.
So I saw everybody complaining about the lines, and then obviously it was the dropping it on from 3 qualifiers to 2 qualifiers. And I know everybody's thinking, oh, Lefty is gonna go like berserk and go crazy about this, and I'm just like, it's not a big deal. For me, it's not a big deal. Like, because let me finish.
The 2 qualifiers isn't the thing. Like, I don't like 2 qualifiers.
So people say we're promised 3 qualifiers and we got 2 and all this type of stuff. So yeah, I get that. Let me do my analogy. Let me finish this, and then I'm going to say my piece, and then we'll go on to the Mill McIver and the thing and all that stuff, right? So where did Riley go? Riley his phone must have died. So my thoughts on this was like all weekend people were freaking out. They were coming to me, ask me what I think and all this type of stuff and all that good stuff. Riley, I'm going to mute you right now because you're really loud doing something. So for me, I just reiterate what I remember Dave and Bobby and those guys saying in that podcast, that this race is about an insane race, which it was, and this race is about you can also unmute yourself when you want to, Riley, just let you know. This race is also about as many entries as they can get, right? They never once said this race is about you getting as much runtime as you can get. So I'm fine with that. So, you know, and a lot of PNB, what happens with PNB, because it's a 3-day race, it's super popular because I bet you a lot of people saw the track, saw all these people going there and all that stuff over Thursday. And a lot of people probably knocked off work early Friday, packed their shit with their buddies and said, hey, let's go to PNB. You know what I mean? Because they knew they could get some practice that evening and still race and all that type of stuff. So this race just snowballed into being what it is. 1,010 entries, almost 500 people. And I don't understand why people are getting mad. I get why they're mad because they didn't get 3 qualifiers, but I mean, people, you have 1,000 entries to get through. What time of the day are you going to do this in?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, Racetime made the correct decision to get through this process and get everybody their race time within this 3 days of racing with the amount of entries they had. So the best way I could compare this is, and people may not agree with me, we go to DNC, there's always a chance that it's going to rain, right? It rained this year. It cut down practice to only 1 round of practice. Yes, there could have been another round of practice, but we would have been done at 4 o'clock in the morning. Who wants to do that on the first day? Nobody. So we lost a round of practice. Everybody did. I took the approach of looking at entries as these indoor, PNB it's an indoor track, so it doesn't get affected by rain, but entries it's rain per se. You know what I mean? So the more entries that it got, the less track time everybody was going to get. So you should go to this race kind of with that attitude in my idea. Think of it as, all right, this is like rain. So we can, okay, obviously we can't help rain, but they advertise this as the race, as many entries as possible. So that something's going to have to give. You can't have as many entries as possible and run time at the same time. Something has to give. So for me, like a lot of people are upset about not getting it. I get that, but Racetime had to make a hard decision. They made it, and I think it went well. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and I actually we agree more than you probably thought, because only issue I had was that people complain about the line, but they still go to this race every year. Well, and the fact that the line is such an easy thing to fix. That's the easiest part to fix. And with 2 qualifiers,
don't complain if you win.
Yeah.
Because you're actually part of the issue. That's why it's like that. You know what I mean? So if you're cool with that, I just want to be here for the party. It's as many people. It's a great coming together of people and all that type of stuff too. Don't get me wrong, and that's fine. We look at it as a festival with an RC race at it, and runtime doesn't matter. That's how I kind of look at it. Now, what I would like to see Racetime do is, because we know this race isn't going to get less entries. What I do want to see is them make up ways where they can do transition faster between things and maybe give people more runtime that way. So maybe you still have as many entries, but you figure out, here's one example I think that will speed up a lot of things at Racetime events. And I've said this before. Have an off ramp. Have an off ramp off the driver stand, so people go off the other side of the driver stand, drop their radios off on a table, and go right out to turn marshal. I guarantee that saves 2 to 3 minutes each run, and you add that up over 3 days. Maybe people get out an extra hour early, or maybe people get an extra. I'm just saying there's little things they have to do to figure that logistics side, because this race is gonna be packed, and they're gonna let as many people get in. Yeah. So they have to figure out how to give people more runtime by making everything go faster. And smoother. And that includes the fucking line too.
Yeah, but I don't even mind the 2 qualifiers. I don't
either. But people expect 3 and they want 3.
Yeah, but
if you say you're gonna have 3, you're gonna have 3. Well, this is a byproduct. This is the rain.
Yeah. When you go to this race, you should prepare for 2 qualifiers and be happy if it's 3. And that's how it is. And I think it's silly to be mad about it. The only really suggestion for next year I'm really disappointed if I don't see is something to solve the line issue. The app is the very simple, very functional, and almost bulletproof system that will work. And if you think this line now is bulletproof, it's not, because you have someone's sister and little brother and mom and dad.
Oh, there was lots of track cutting by pro guys too.
Yeah, and just cutting. People are cutting the line. Like the system that is in place now is not fair. It takes people's time unnecessarily, and it's just silly. So please, I'm pretty sure that if Dave just says to Connie, "Hey, can you make this happen?" Connie is able to do it by the next a race time event that has open practice.
And I heard a lot, just real quick, I heard like a lot of these pro guys will just come up and talk to a guy and be like, hey, what's up? In the same shirt.
Yeah,
and then
and like
just
people
cut
like,
in. That was shitty.
People
That's
like
shitty.
Drake are infamous of doing that, you know.
Well, I didn't call no names. I didn't say Drake. I
But I mean, like guys who people think are really fair and respect still do this. Like Drake, I'm not singling him out. There's lots of other guys who do this, but people who you think would be the sort of most honorable, the best, the most respected, those guys, even those guys, take advantage of this.
Riley,
at CRC. Yeah, at CRC, I just gave people my radio if I had to go do something with my car so I could go get another run. But I still think that's pretty messed up. I don't think that you should be able to hold a spot in line. I don't think there should be a line at all, because you spend like I think the percentage is like oh man, I forget. It was like 60% of your life you spend in a line. You hate spending time in a line. Like, it's stupid. It shouldn't exist even for practice. But if I was to go to that race, I'd probably like practice at night. I'm a night guy anyways, so I'd just stay up at night and practice at night. But yeah, definitely sucks.
And I think that's the best time to practice at PNB.
Yeah.
At nighttime. So
yeah.
People had that, but see, people are excited. Everybody wants to get to the track.
But
Everybody wants to get on the track. You know, I get it.
You know, I'll end this on a positive though. I think this is the first year race time embraced the PNB sort of and didn't try to be like, oh, we do have track time. You get lots of practice. They embraced the fact that this is the point of this race.
Yeah.
And I love that. I'm really happy that they did it. And one other positive thing was the virtual drivers meeting. That was amazing. That was such a great idea. And I hope RCGP implements that idea.
But that's been going around that's been going around and regionally in the South for a long time.
Okay, yeah. Well, either way, but PNB was the first big race I saw do it, and that's an amazing idea. You should
done it before.
You should, when you have this many people, you can't do everything in place. So you should use virtual components like the line function I've been now talking about for 20 minutes. That could be used, and that virtual drivers meeting, perhaps something else even to make it more sort of structured, even though you don't have any more people in there, but you have some systems in place. And that virtual drivers meeting was great, and I hope next year we have something for the line as well.
Sweet. That's my two things that I wanted to address that I saw everybody complaining about. Like, that's it. That's the bottom of my line.
Can we talk about Will now?
Yes. All right. Okay. So the other big thing to come out of this was I've known Will McIver for many years. I talked to him today for about 30 minutes. I talked to him yesterday as well. And I know we're going to get the blame for this. Well, not me. Not you and me, Max. But JQ will get the blame for this because he said this. And this is actually what pissed off Dave, too, a lot, was when JQ said this. But
you know what? Had Joseph not said it, he wouldn't have gotten caught, though.
I think that's true. Because, so anyway, if you guys don't know, guy Will McIver, Southeast driver, he decided he wanted to get more track time and test age-old theory that people have had about race time. Not just Joseph, because I've heard this from other people. And that's to sign up. What's the difference? He signed up for pro on the Cazador de Trofeos, which I thought was pretty funny. And then he signed up for intermediate under his real name. Now, he usually runs pro, right? He's usually in the C main of pro. You know, he's a good fast local driver. But, you know, he was in the B main of intermediate. And he signed up for both of these. He paid for them. He paid $400 and all that stuff, but just under two names, different names. And he eventually got caught doing this, I think Sunday, after he bumped up from his intermediate main.
Did they refund him, though?
No. He's trying to get his money back for the true classes. So I know Riley wants to rip into him because Riley and him got at it on Facebook. And Riley and I were talking about this before him. So I just want to say that I've heard this happen at race time events before where somebody signed up for more than, like, they might be intermediate and pro or sportsman and intermediate or whatever, because this is what guys say, there's no rules and it's no different from 40 plus. So this is where I think Riley and I are having a little bit of disagreement because we've brought this up on our podcast too. Now, to say that I honestly think that Will wouldn't have got caught if he wouldn't have bumped out of his B main or been as well known, because a lot of people know who Will is. So it was like,
and also the fact
hard.
that he run pro and intermediate instead of sportsman and intermediate.
Right. He usually runs pro anyway. He runs pro anyway.
Yeah.
So
but if it was some guy who usually runs sportsman or intermediate, and then they run both, no one's gonna know.
Right,
but I think
exactly.
It's funny that someone actually did it. I don't even have any feelings towards it. In my opinion, this is just funny. And the fact
he
that
kind of admitted to being wrong.
Race, but the funniest thing is he got caught by just before he bumped into the main. So he
did bump it. Yeah, he
weekend.
did. So somebody actually pricked on him. I don't think he got caught. But I mean,
so someone was a snitch.
Yeah, but
ooh,
Riley, go ahead. You have your thoughts on this. Go ahead, Riley, because you've been heated about this.
Yeah, I think it's pretty damn stupid to even think that that's a good idea. Because, like, you should not. Okay, I understand getting the extra track time in 40 plus. It's not fair, whatever. But you're running competitively in two classes. Well, not competitively in pro, but like you're trying. You're getting like extra time with your car against faster guys, so your pace is already better. And then you go in and you're basically just beating up on a class that you don't race in normally. I just think that it's all stupid. I think that you definitely should reconsider life, because that's just not a good idea.
Well, Riley, that was pretty savage. That was because Riley, you know why Riley is heated? Because Bill called him a nobody on Facebook.
I am a nobody, really? But it doesn't like, you don't need to point it out every damn time you get an opportunity.
No, I got your point too, Riley. No. But I just wanted to make it.
And so, to be honest, though,
Will did ask Dave. He said, one second, Max. He said, how he explained how it happened, it was like, and he's apologetic about it, like, because he's friends with, like, he's not against these guys. He just wanted to see if it worked. He said, I wanted more track time. And I want to see if it worked, because Drake gets it.
And for those,
gets it.
For those that don't understand Spanish, his name in pro was Trophy Hunter. Like, that itself explains the whole motive behind this.
But that was a joke.
Yeah.
Like, he did that jokingly.
He's a joke.
I mean, I get it. You're upset about this, but in the big scheme of things, honestly, Max's camera's dead too. In the big scheme of things, for me, it's no different from 40 plus.
Yeah.
I get it though. Morally, it shouldn't be happening. It should not be happening. I think Will got caught. He's apologetic about it, but he's also saying, hey, where's the rules saying that I can't do this? I think he's going to loop his live this weekend, and they're going to show him the rules and all this type of stuff. But at the end of the day,
when did they write the rules?
I don't know. But if this makes it,
it's just not moral. Like, you don't.
Well, you know what? Yeah. There's other things that are moral at these races too, because there's no tech, and I guarantee you, there's guys out there running Truggy tanks in their buggies.
Yeah. So I mean, I gotta be honest though. If he was a guy who usually ran intermediate and then ran pro, I think there's no issue. But he's a guy who usually runs pro and now run intermediate as well.
Well, this is his first year dropping on to intermediate.
Yeah, but I mean,
look, he was in the B man. He had a bump out of the B man. Like he's supposed to be like he's kind of like one of those guys who's really good locally, does well locally. He's done well. Will McIver's been racing for many years. I met Will when he was really young back in the day, right? So to say all of
40
this,
years ago.
No, he's actually like 30 something, dude.
Yeah, I know he's not. I know he's not over 40, but I just got.
That's why he can't run 40 plus. Because he's like, I'm not 40.
No, but I mean, come on. Like half of the 40 plus class is like 35.
I don't know about that. They say that. Well, okay. What I'm saying is, if now we have rules, this is a good thing.
Yeah. Well,
so
to me, this was just funny. I don't like. Only way I kind of get Riley's point is the fact that he has run pro before and now he ran intermediate, because I think that's a bit shitty because he hasn't stopped racing. So he has no sort of that type.
Well,
of
I think he'll run
but,
intermediate from now on because he wanted to drop down to intermediate anyway.
Okay, well, okay, that's I guess fine then. But to me, this is just funny, and it was actually I'm happy that someone tried this out.
Oh shit, we're gonna get in so much trouble now. I heard it's been done before.
Yeah.
I can't confirm it, but I've just heard it's been done, and what people say is that you'll never know because we just never know.
I bet someone has run the same class twice. I bet people have done ridiculous. I mean, fucking what's his name? JB. He fucking ran a drone in Bornhorst's face and then still got a full refund. So,
I don't know if he got a full refund.
He got a fucking full refund, and he ran all the quality.
Well, that was a little bit different. So I don't know where Riley went. Riley must have cut out.
Riley got too mad at Will, but because the fact that there's so many people, it's just bound to happen. It's not even a dig at Racetime for not being structured or anything. It's just like
I'm glad they caught it.
There's so many people in there that something like this will just always happen. And it's in my opinion, it's like I don't even have anything against Racetime either way this went. Like if they didn't get him, fine. If they caught him, fine. Like I don't think this I don't have any feelings.
At the end of the day, he was in the B main of intermediate. He just bumped out into this is what he said to me, because look, I was bumped out to the A in intermediate, and the space that they took me out and gave to the kid that won that should have been in the A main anyway. So he's not mad or anything about it. He's not even apologetic about it. He's just like, yeah, I tried it. It didn't work. I'll be back at the next races. I know Dave was upset, which I get it. That shows, but I don't like I know a lot of people want to say it's cheating.
To me, it ruins the integrity of the event.
Well, it would have ruined the integrity if they wouldn't have caught it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like but that's not to say that it hasn't happened before.
No, just the action.
What about the fact that people caught in line on Friday? Doesn't that already ruin it?
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah. So like the thing
but
is,
the whole line, that's all fucked anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, like, this event is not about heritage and integrity. It's about having fun, having a blast, getting psycho. So, yeah. Oh, Keenan froze.
To me, it just makes it all about him. I think that's just stupid, dude.
All right, I cut out there for a second. Well, that's your thoughts. I just have a feeling that this happened before. I'm just glad they caught it. If they wouldn't have caught it, I'd have been like, oh, that's bad.
Oh, I'm sure it's happened, but like,
I think Will was just too well known. I think he's too well known in that area. And then I think when he bumped up, that's actually when it became a thing, because it's well known, like in the Southeast, that people want to do this and try this out. This isn't something that somebody's just making up. Like, people talk about this all the time.
Yeah, and people probably fucking do it all the time. It's like, it's funny that it became such a big thing. Like I'm 100% sure if Joseph said nothing on the podcast, nobody would have fucking found out Will. I'm so sure.
We'll get the blame for it.
Yeah, but okay. So I don't really like the Will situation. Like, fuck it, I don't give a shit. This PNB event, with all the negativities we have said, was a huge success.
Yes,
because of the fact that the amount of entries they had and the amount of actual people they had was great. Yeah. Now what they need to sort of take is like, hey, okay, we made a success. How can we make it better? And then tackle all those negatives we have found and make it so that this event can grow and grow and grow each year. And obviously there will be a sort of some level where there just isn't enough time for people to race this race, but to make it so that this event can be fun for as many people as possible, that's something I think now is sort of the step, because it's growing. So now they can
it's the biggest race. It's great. Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see what Silver State does. I know now Silver State will try and go for the 1,000 entries, and they probably will get it. And then that's when it's just like that's what I get tired of. But anyway, I would have to reiterate what you said. I think it was a success. I watched this from a different point of view this weekend. And I looked at it
But
as,
to be honest, they embraced it differently this year too.
yeah, it seemed like just, I think with the coverage being a little bit way better than what it's ever been at any of the races, in my opinion, made a big difference too. So they wanted to, even J Concepts was doing like heat sheets with the guys' names and all that type of stuff. So like everybody stepped up. You know,
Yeah, they
everybody
did
seems
a
to be
track
stepping up
walk
their
too.
Yeah. They need to get I gotta show when I see Hannah again, I show them my setup. They need to get some better mics for their stuff. That's the only thing they need to do. That's a simple fix. But everybody, like just everything, like the show was good. The communication from what I saw coming outside in was good. The coverage was great. And I just accepted that like people are here to party and there's an RC race happening. So and everybody I talked to had fun. So there were complaints, but most people had fun. So congratulations to everybody that attended and made this race sick. And congratulations to Racetime because they bust their asses this week to make all this happen too. So I know everybody thought we was gonna bash them like crazy, but no, I
mean, some people will say I bashed them like crazy, but I mean,
somebody will get upset.
Yeah, people will obviously get upset when we point out the negatives, but we point out the negatives because those exist. But we all, at least I think me and you, Keenan and Riley, were sure too. We all understand how much good this event has as well and what it brings to RC.
We only say the negatives because we want it to get better.
Exactly.
Well, we only said the negatives that people talked about too.
Yeah.
So
we didn't make shit up.
But we'll get blamed for it, I think. It is what it is because I didn't want to come on her because I know if people would have said, "Oh, Left is being negative," and I'm being honest. I don't have much negative things to say about it. I accepted it, and congratulations to them. They done a great job. I think the MSN connection and all that stuff's done good for them, getting new sportsman guys in, and good job to everybody. And I hope they get even better next year. That's it. That's all I have to say. All right. Riley, anything to say before we go?
Yeah, it was an awesome event. I had fun watching the pro classes anyways. It was really drawn out, but it was cool. I enjoyed it. I just wanted to get better, in those certain areas. It could be better.
Yeah, like anything could be better. Anything could be better. So, and they would make it better because they're making everything better as they go on. Like, yeah, I just know. And you know what? I'm telling you guys, it may not happen at Silver State, but Mason Fuller winning is happening very soon. I'm telling you.
Oh, dude, Mason in a Nitro class, it's gonna, it's inevitable.
Silver State's kind of a one-off, super rough race, but hey, I have full faith that Mason Fuller can win anywhere.
Oh, dude, Mason in the rough is still pretty good. He understands lines, and his home track, it's basically just a backyard track that gets super blown out with not great built jumps, and it's called the Horse Compound. But it's not the best, but it's a perfect practice facility.
Sweet. All right, well, I think that's it, guys. We've been on for 2 hours and 14 minutes. Well, 2 hour plus minutes here, a little longer than we thought, but we kind of had a lot to talk about. Thank you, Max, for your time. Thank you, Riley. Thank you to everybody out there, the NNRC squad around the world. We can't do it without you guys. Keep hitting those like buttons, commenting, leave reviews. If you listen to this on the audio, if whatever audio platform you're on, leave reviews. Keep helping us grow our YouTube. We're up to over 2,000 subscribers. Let's get that growing. Thank you to all the patrons of the NNRC. Me and Max are going to get together and do a Patreon pod this week for you guys, an Easter podcast. Right, Max?
Yeah, man.
Thank you guys for the extra support. What up?
I just want to have a quick word about like RCGP and PNB, like on social media. There's a lot of people like complaining about stuff. Then there's arguments, drama, like this Will McIver stuff. And I just want people to sort of remember that RC is super fun and try to keep it that way. Don't get heated up over Facebook. I don't even fucking read Facebook unless someone tags me in something. So that's
you've been advised by your lawyers not to say many things too.
Yeah, that too. But I have had it many times in sort of my RC career where I've just been like so into it that I get overflown. And that's something keep in mind. RC is fun. Like just going to the track and driving your car and having fun. That is fun. And always keep that in mind. And don't get too riled up on the internet or at the track or anywhere else for that matter. RC is for everyone or everybody. I don't know which one you pick for the hashtag. But RC is for everybody, and keep RC fun, guys. It's because it is fun. So just to contrast all the negativity we have.
We weren't
to
that dude. We were not negative. Like we were not like we only talked
no,
about the
we weren't. But I mean, the thing
things.
is, like when we say things to sort of give challenging opinions, people take it negatively. Sometimes you just gotta take a breath, calm down. There's still so much good in this, so don't get too riled up.
I think you just got too much backlash from the Phend comments.
Me?
I think that's why you think
I don't think
negative.
Phend wasn't even that bad. Only Barry got mad, but Barry's Barry. We're buddies.
I don't know how sure you are about that.
Yeah, I don't know until he knocks you out.
No.
All right.
Barry loves me deeply because he knows I'm right. So
all right, so the next time you see him, go try to hug him.
I'll
go give him a hug at the Worlds.
But
yeah, hopefully he'll be there. All right.
He'll be there.
Thank you to
Phend
all the
finish
awesome
4th at the Worlds.
Yeah. Thank you to all the awesome companies that support the podcast. They are Invisible Speed, TZO Tires, TNR Fuels, Beach RC, Techno RC, Lugs Racing Tires, Mayako, JQ Scale Motorsports, G-Spec RC Tuning, Papa Willie's Traction Tonic, Racecraft USA, Clinic RC, JTP RC, RCGP, House of RC. Shout out to my boys, RC Kevin, David Runnerfalk, the Doctor. Remember, everybody, we have coupon codes where you can save some money. We have affiliate links. They're all in the written description of this podcast. Please, show the sponsor some love, shows us some love. We greatly appreciate it. Max, we're taking a break. We're actually done our first season. We planned seasons. So we're taking a scheduled break now for like Easter, and we'll be back next week sometime. We hit it pretty hard this year. We've pissed off a lot of people, but that's just sometimes how it goes. When you're making an omelet, you have to break some eggs.
Dude, we're making 2 podcasts a week. Someone's gonna get pissed at something we say.
Yeah, we hit it hard. We hit it hard. Riley, thank you for your time. I greatly appreciate it. I enjoyed having you on. I think you and Max make a great team. That's good. We need to get your setup working a little bit better.
Dude, I need a laptop so I can this phone's terrible.
Yeah, you definitely need to get a laptop. I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. Everybody enjoy your Easter. I know a lot of people don't celebrate it. It's a big holiday here in the DR. I'm gonna be chilling out, but it's still a big holiday. Be safe. And next race is IBC and Euros warm up. So that's coming up, and then it's gonna be Silver State. So we got a couple of weeks off, and then we got some racing coming up. So good stuff.
Yeah, man.
Good job to everybody at PNB who did well and had fun and made it home safely. It's good. It looked like a great event. I actually wanted to be there. So yeah, all good stuff, man. Good stuff. Anyway, that's it. Nitro's the glory. Ebuggy pays the bills. Arrogant Max, Riley. We ain't got a name for you yet. So I don't know. I'm just gonna call you Riley. Riley.
I'm cool with that.
All right.
Better than the arrogant one.
Yeah, well, nobody can top Max.
I'm proud of it.
Top Max. He says he's always right. He's not arrogant. Anyway, guys, enjoy your Easter. Be safe. And if you guys are doing some RC stuff, send it and have fun. You know, we guys are out and enjoy this podcast. Thank you for all the support. You guys are out.
Peace.